What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex. You watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. Last night I watched Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is the sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which came out in 2011. And Rise of the Planet of the Apes is the reboot to the Planet of the Apes franchise, which started off with the original classic film Planet of the Apes, which came out in 1968, starring Charlton Heston. Now, with the reboot, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, it was directed by Rupert Wyatt and starring James Franco. Now, this time around in the sequel, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, it is now directed by Matt Reeves and starring Jason Clarke, with supporting actors Kerry Russell and Gary Oldman. None of these actors appeared in the first film, just like how James Franco does not appear in the new film. Now, someone who's back is Andy Serkis, who plays Caesar. And Caesar is the center point of this film. That's something that I really want to point out, because we're so used to watching movies where humans are the focus of the film. But this time around, there's something very unique about this film, and that is they turned the tables. Caesar and his ape family is the center point of the film. Alright? I would like to say that the humans are the supporting characters in this film, which makes this film very unique and very fun to watch. It's always fun to watch anytime the apes are on screen, because not only do they look real, but the personalities are just so believable. Now, with regards to this movie, the story is something that I don't really need to explain. Really, what happens is that 10 years after the events of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, apes and humans live separately in their own habitat. They're away from each other, and based on what we see in the TV spots, they can't really coexist. That's all you need to know. Based on what the marketing shows you, they try to coexist, they fear each other, and then war breaks out. Okay? That's all you need to know about this movie. And that's what I expected in this movie. I gotta tell you, the marketing tells you nothing. Okay? We expected something, or at least I expected something, but what I got was something else that was completely extraordinary. This film is amazing. Okay, not only from a story standpoint, but also in the characters. And by characters, I mean the ape characters. The human characters is something that we've already seen before. There's nothing really special about the human characters. I love Jason Clarke as an actor. I also think that, feel that Gary Oldman is a very strong actor. I mean, he's an actor that he's one of my top favorite actors because he's such a great actor. But I gotta tell you, they aren't around a whole lot. In fact, throughout the film, I think Gary Oldman just disappears. But Jason Clarke, he's kind of that liaison between the connection for this story and the audience, who are humans, of course. So he's that kind of like that character that really helps us connect with the ape characters, because he represents the humans. He represents a peace and coexistence. All right. But on the other hand, the apes are truly the focus of the movie, and that's something I really have to commend Matt Reeves for. He brought the apes to life, not only just in the CG work. The CG work is amazing, by the way. Weta Digital did an incredible job in making these apes come to life. But they don't just come to life with CG. They come to life with great acting, okay? Like believable acting and great direction. And that's why I really have to tip my hat off to Matt Reeves for doing such a great job in making these apes so believable. Andy Serkis really pulls off the part of Caesar great. I mean, he's absolutely brilliant to watch. And Toby Kebbell, he plays Koba. All right, he's one of Caesar's right-hand apes. Okay, and he is also a force to be reckoned with, because not just by performances, not just like performance-wise, but just the overall look of his character. He's just something. He's just an ape that you would fear. And he's an ape that you just don't want to be around when he's around. And Toby Cabello really pulls off that performance perfectly. But I gotta say that Andy Serkis really drives the story. And that is what's so great about this movie. This movie is driven by story and characters. The action is just the supplement, and it's great when it's there. But I gotta tell you that whenever the apes are on screen is the time when I feel that the movie is at its best. Okay, and when Caesar and Koba speak, oh man, I just get goosebumps. Every time they speak, it is so epic. It's almost like Optimus Prime speaking. It's like Peter Cullen speaking as Optimus Prime. You just feel like woo! You feel goosebumps, right? At least for the first time when you watch Transformers. But this time when you hear Caesar and Koba speak, and the way they speak in broken English, you know that they're going to evolve into something bigger, right? And man, this movie is just spectacular. The action is great when it's there. It's something that is very fun to watch. But I gotta tell you, it's not an action movie. It is a story and character-driven film with action in it. Like I said, the action helps drive the story along. But the story is very, very strong. I gotta tell you that this is a very well-written story. It's got a good script. The dialogue between the humans and the apes is just... It's just really well done because it's completely believable. The only weakness that I gotta say in this movie is really when you have great actors like Jason Clarke and Gary Oldman there, you expect a little bit something from their performances. Well, the performance that Gary Oldman gave us is great, but it's not really anything special. Okay, I love it every time Gary Oldman appears on screen, but this role that he plays is not something that's anything different than what we've seen before. As for Jason Clarke, he's really good at playing badass characters. This time around, he's a little bit more passive. I mean, I don't need him to play a badass in this movie, but I don't think that this really stretched his acting chops. But he still did a decent job. I mean, he really, I really felt the connection between him and Caesar, but I think I felt a better connection with James Franco's character and Caesar in the first film, maybe because it was like a more developmental stage in the story. But overall, they did a decent job. But Caesar, played by Andy Serkis, man, he is just like watching him on screen is completely believable, and just seeing him go like apes. Together! Strong! You know, that is epic. Okay? I'll tell you something. When I watched Rise of the Planet of the Apes in the theater, and then I heard Caesar speak, and he goes, "No!" Like, I just went like, "Oh, shit!" I mean, beep! You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, that was like something else. So, you know what? People are calling, the critics are calling Rise of the Planet of the Apes the Batman Begins of the rebooted franchise. And now they're calling Dawn of the Planet of the Apes the Dark Knight of the Planet of the Apes franchise. And I'm going to have to agree with that. This is a great film. This is a film that has a great story and has got really well-written characters, and the performances from the non-human characters is even better than the performances of the human characters. They're just a lot of fun to watch, and it's just so fascinating to watch them. It's completely believable, and I think that if you're looking for a movie with a great story and great characters, and just from beginning to end, a really good time where you're completely engaged, then watch Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I'm going to give this movie a 9.25 out of 10. A near-perfect movie. Just some of the human performances could have been better. But other than that, this is a near-perfect movie. I gave the original one a 9 out of 10. I really like that movie a lot. And I really want to see where the story goes. I want to see where it continues. And Matt Reeves is signed on to direct the next one for 2016. So I'm curious about how this is going to play out. Alright? Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Elements from the original film, but one thing that he forgets to do is really make the story profound like the original was.